I'm John,
And I'm Caroline.
and this is Events by Design.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Event by Design. Today we are covering a hot topic of how to allocate your budget for a luxury wedding.
Let's start with the first one.
So the first one, what we normally tell our clients is focus on the biggest stuff first so they create the most impact when your guests walk in and create the wow factors. Then when you have remaining budget, work on the next one, and then the smaller details last if you have the option to upgrade them. Otherwise, you could just go for the standard options for the smaller items, but for the big items, go all out.
So that way, you're allocating your funds to something that's a bit more of a wow
Substantial,
factor,
yeah.
substantial,
Yeah.
and also better photos as well too.
Yeah, definitely. So it's sort of like highest impact and the most value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the first item we want to recommend is having a ceiling installation. So if your venue allows you, or they have the rigging and structural points for us to hang ceiling installations, that's one of the main thing to invest in first. Because as soon as people come in, even if there's just a ceiling installation and nothing else in the room, they'll be like, oh wow, that's incredible. Like even if you just had like plain candles for centerpieces, but you had a ceiling installation.
Yeah.
It's like it's like so good. Whereas like for example, you could have like all these nice decorative centerpieces, but everyone's seen centerpieces, so it doesn't have such a huge impact on people. So that's why we recommend focusing on that as number one priority.
Great tip. The next one we recommend is surfaces. So anything that covers a large amount of surface, whether it be like dance floors or a wall of draping or some sort, that would definitely be the next option. Because the more that you could cover with your budget that you have, the better, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
we want to make sure that area is covered and therefore it's in most of the shots and it's more of a wow factor when people come in.
Yeah. So especially with like dance floors, like there's venues with just like timber dance floors. And if you're going for a luxurious feel, you want to add like a gloss element to it. Because the more reflective it is, the more expensive it looks basically.
Yeah.
So like if you go to a bathroom that was like all matte versus a bathroom that was all glossy, which one would you value more type thing? So obviously having a gloss dance floor in any color, white, black, gold, silver, whatever you like, it reflects sort of like all the items in the room. So sort of like it reflects the nice like ceiling installation, chandeliers, lighting, whatnot. It sort of like give that double effect, that mirrored effect. So it's really, really nice.
And not only that, it does change the room. I mean, compared to not having a dance floor and also the ceiling, as you mentioned before, when guests come in, most likely they haven't seen that ceiling installation or that there's dance floors in that combination before. So if you just go for the default, then they kind of won't be as surprised because they've seen that space before. And if you invested in the smaller items, it most likely will be unnoticed.
That's right.
Hey, just quickly,
If you're looking for a wedding stylist so that you can have a stress-free, seamless and premium wedding design all completely done for you,
visit the link in the show notes to book your creative consultation.
let's bring your wedding vision to life.
Now back to the episode.
And so the next areas that we recommend after the ceiling and the dance floors are photo zones. So we have the ceremony photo zone and we have the reception photo zone. So for the ceremony photo zone would obviously be the ceremony arch area where you do your vows. So obviously when you post about your wedding or your friends post about attending your wedding, the first thing they're going to post is like of you guys doing your vows or kissing or whatever
Or
at
that
the ceremony part.
that walkway,
Yeah,
So
when you walk down the aisle. Yeah. So one of the main things we recommend our couples to do with ceremony is to obviously invest in the florals for it. So having layers of flowers work really well. So having like a backdrop, having the aisle flowers, and then even the aisle entrances. So as you walk down the aisle, all your guests are throwing confetti and whatnot. Your photographer and videographer will be at the very entry of the aisle and taking the photos. So when they have the entry flowers in the foreground, the middle aisle flowers, and then like flowers in the backdrop for the arch, like it's like
it's just such a great
effect.
composition. Yeah.
And the composition is really, really photogenic. So that creates a great opportunity for it.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for bridal table and the main focal point there. So you're going to have your first dance there, you're going to have your speeches, cutting the cake. So, it doesn't make sense to not kind of focus on that area, and that's why it's on this list.
And especially if you can't have ceiling installations in your venue, then double down on the bridal table even more, because that would be the wow factor of the night. That's where everyone's going to be looking throughout the whole night. So like rather than having like, you know, a blank wall or a window that just reflects everything in the room, actually deck it out. Like have florals behind you, or have like, you know, backdrops with your names on it, or draping or lighting, whatever it is. Just have something, because it really, really changes the mood of the night and all the photos as well.
Yeah. So whereas centerpieces, the smaller item centerpieces and details, you can kind of afford to compromise on them, because there are many options and affordable options too that can replace and make it just as fantastic as ever.
Yeah, that's right. And then the final thing that we recommend to invest in are the finer details. So if you've done, you know, all the bigger stuff and you still have budget left over, then that's when we say upgrade the smaller details. So instead of like smaller details, I mean like, you know, your place cards, your stationery, your welcome sign, seating charts, all the menus, all the bonbonnières, and even your centerpieces. So they're sort of like the finer details that's on the table that's really nice for the guest experience. And if you can upgrade them, then that'd be great, because then your guests will have like something a bit more unique. So instead of having like, you know, paper place cards, you could do acrylic place cards. You could have like, you know, a stone like look or a marble finish or whatnot, and that creates, again, adding that gloss element to it, and or a different texture. Like for example, napkins could be upgraded to like a velvet napkin, or like, you know, a draping one or whatnot, and that adds that different feel to it too. And then like similar with like menus, table numbers, whatnot, those could all be upgraded, but that's after you've upgraded the big stuff. So work on the big stuff first, and then if you have further budget, then work on the smaller details.
It might actually sound counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Like whereas couples, they generally feel like I'll start with
the guest tables.
the entry level items first, and then if I have budget or not, I'll go for the ceiling.
Yes, that's right.
But when you're looking for the best photos and the best overall result, it's actually the opposite, right?
Yes, that's right. Because when you take the overall photos, no one's going to be able to see what kind of menus or place cards you've used, but they see the ceiling installation like first thing.
Like even if it's not the top tier ceiling installation, but you had a ceiling installation, and
it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, as opposed to having the best place card arrangement that you could possibly have.
Yeah, which are never in any photos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So let's cap it off.
Yeah, so the main thing, as we said, as a summary, is to focus on the big stuff like ceiling installations, dance floors, the photo zones for the ceremony, and the photo zone for the reception. And then finally, all the smaller, finer details. So hopefully you got something great out of that. And if you want any more tips similar to it, comment down below.
See you later, guys. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on Events by Design. We hope today's episode inspired you and gave you a fresh perspective on the power of thoughtful styling.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss an episode.
Ready to start designing your own unforgettable moment? Head to JCAU Events _official or visit JCAU Events to connect with our team.
Until next time, design with purpose, create with heart.